Absolutely no worries, because it is bang on time. We're just here, 8 o'clock German time, 7 p.m. English time. A very warm welcome to everyone watching to the 4th episode of the Not So Late Night Darts Show. And I am absolutely pleased to welcome the World Cup of Darts champion, newly crowned Masters champion and Premier League player, Jonny the Ferret Clayton. Jonny, pleasure to see you.
How are you guys? You okay?
And also on the show, the man that needs no introduction, maybe the most famous voice in the world of darts, the voice Russ Bray. Russ, pleasure to see you.
Yeah, lovely to see you too, Phil. And you, Jonny. Congratulations,
Russ.
mate. I ain't seen this since then, but well done, big fella. Absolutely tremendous. Well deserved.
Thank you so much, pal.
So, Jonny, I mean, I just introduced you there with all these titles. How does it sound to you? Has it sunk in yet? I mean, it's been a good week now.
Yeah, it's been considering this COVID about to pick up 2 cups. You know, the Masters, the Premier League spot, and the World Cup. You know, it's been brilliant for myself, and you know, I'm one very happy man.
Well, I can surely imagine that. I mean, Russ, I was thinking when Jonny won the Masters. You know, we had last year on the Euro Tour, Devon Peterson won his first PDC title, and everyone actually he beat Jonny in the final there, and everyone was just so happy, absolutely happy for Devon. And I thought, I mean, I wasn't at the Masters, but I could have imagined that scenes were probably quite similar when Jonny picked up his title, because he's just someone you don't find someone who's got a better word to say about him.
Exactly right. Exactly. I mean, I was very lucky because I called Devon's game there. Also called the one that Jonny won. Was it in Austria when you won the jacket, John?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, Austria.
Yeah. And I called that one. And like you say, you've got 2 of the loveliest guys you ever want to meet. They're not contentious. They're not argumentative. They don't, you know, they take everything in their stride and are just genuinely nice people. And, you know, you don't get too many of them in the world. John, you can pay me later, mate. It's not.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Yeah. How much was it?
All joking aside, they are just actually genuine. What you see is what you get, and just real nice people.
Now that you already mentioned it, I can actually that was planned for later in the show. But you know, now that you mentioned Jonny's title in Austria, you see, there we go. That's the
beautiful.
The jacket, the legend. You know, do you still have that jacket, Jonny?
I still got that. Yes, I don't wear it. It's too hot. But yeah, I still got it.
Well, you need more vacations in Austria, mate. More vacations in Austria.
Definitely.
What made me laugh with that jacket was it was extra small and it fitted him.
Yeah, it doesn't fit anymore, Russ.
No. John, you've got the same problem as I have. It's sort of an expanding belly line.
Yeah, my chest has fallen to my belly.
Same as.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't have these problems at all. Let's move on. Yeah, yes, yet.
Yeah, it will happen. Don't worry.
So Jonny, I mean, the Masters, coming back to the Masters once more, obviously it's not been long ago. So it was actually obviously a special tournament for you, but the way it went, the way the tournament went, it was absolutely crazy. Because let me have a look here at the let me get it ready for you. So then I'm going to share your route to the final. So now here we go. And then I'm going to share it with you guys so we can have a look at this again. Now, here we go. Now you should be able to see that now. This is, and I've been talking to Andy Scott. For the viewers that don't know Andy Scott, he's a director with the PDPA. The guys that are a bit older might think it was the lead guitarist of glam rock band Swede, but he's not. He's director with PDPA. And I was talking to him. Has that ever happened, that a guy who won a TV title had to go to 4 deciding legs on route to do that? So it must have been mentally, that must have been nerve-wracking for you, Jonny.
Yeah, it was, to be honest. You know, obviously we all go out to win as quick as possible. You know, a dream score would be 6-0, 10-0, 10-0. You know, but it doesn't happen in the world of darts now. The players are so good. You know, you are going to come across a lot of the last leg deciders. And it's just I tried keeping my nerve, and this particular tournament, it went well. So, you know, there'll be plenty more of last leg deciders. I can guarantee that.
Well, that is for sure with the standard. I mean, Russ, since Jonny won the World Cup with Wales and with his pairs partner Gerwyn Price, I could sort of sense with him that there's a bit of a difference about him. There's a swagger, there's a self-confidence about him. Certainly, that is what you need in these decisive moments there.
Definitely. If you're a winner, you get that sort of self-confidence. You get that swagger because you are a winner. And like I say, Jonny and Gerwyn won the World Cup. And winning breeds confidence. And each tournament that John goes into, he's confident about winning. And to have the minerals to seriously go 4 last leg darts and win them, especially when you look at the clientele that he beat, MVG, Peter Wright, and I didn't go the last leg with Mervyn, but very close. You know, they're tough games to win. But you can see the confidence, you know, I'm going to win it. And this is what winners get. And you will see that all the way through. Michael van Gerwen is a winner because, you know, he gets in there and it does breed confidence. And you can see that with Jonny all day long. Watching the Masters, like you say, I wasn't there either. But sitting there watching it, it was, you know, you could see he had the will to win in him. And that's what you need. And the minerals, obviously, to finish it in the last leg.
I mean, speaking about composure, 91% on the doubles in the match against James Wade, a new world record over that format. That was, Jonny, that was incredible. Was there a point in the match where you thought about it as I've not missed a double here, or did that not happen?
No, to be honest, right, I didn't realize that I was that good on my doubles. So yeah, to be honest, I was just in a double and winning a game. I'm thinking, yeah, great stuff, you know, that's another leg. But I didn't realize that I was that good on doubles in that match. So, yeah, it's a bit of a surprise.
So obviously, because I forgot at the start, there's a little hint here to our viewers. Obviously, this is an interactive show, and the viewers can also get in touch with our 2 stars on the show. So if you want to ask a question a bit later on, you've got this nice function towards the bottom of your screen here, where you can raise your virtual hand to ask a question. So when you've got a question for either Jonny or Russ, just raise your hand, and then at certain points in the show, I will pick 1 or 2 of you out, and you can ask a question to the two. Jonny, I've been planning this obviously with your manager Jason. You know, I was in touch with him, and It seemed that you've been a busy man the last couple of days. There was a lot of interest, and he told me, oh, we cannot test this on a Saturday because he's on telly. You know, so what was going on the last couple of days?
Yeah, I've been really busy, to be honest. I feel a bit like a receptionist with all the phone calls, you know. But no, to be honest, it's a good thing. So obviously, if they're that interested in you, you've done well. So, you know, I'm willing to take all the phone calls and all the TV that thrown my way. So, yeah, I have been a busy man. I've been on a few Welsh TV programs. So, yeah, you know, it's been busy.
Well, you're mentioning Wales. We're going to speak about Wales a little later on. But there's one thing here. I mean, all the positive news. There is one bit of negative news to bring to you, Jonny, because, I mean, I don't know if you're aware of that, but with you, it's like a title a year, only one, and now basically your year 2021 has ended in February. So what are you going to do about that?
Well, I'm going to have to try and get a few more titles to my name each year.
Well, that is a straightforward answer. I should have expected that. But yeah, found that statistic earlier on. Obviously, we see your Austrian Darts Open title there in 2018. We just saw the photo. This first TV singles title, where does this rank? Because I mean, obviously, Gezi and yourself, you were so delighted with winning the World Cup for Wales. When you have to weigh these two against each other.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's, in my point of view, it's like 2 different competitions, obviously. Yeah, it's like to win the World Cup of Darts with Gezi as a team, it was absolutely brilliant. You know, Gerwyn is, well, in my point of view, probably the best player on the darts planet at the moment. So to be, you know, a part of his team, done well, first time to win it for Wales. You know, that was amazing. But to pick up my first singles trophy, you know, a major, you know, I don't think nothing will beat that for a very long time, you know, and, you know, I just look forward to see if I can pick up a few more.
Well, I'm sure we all are. Russ, I don't know if you saw the congratulation tweet that Gowan Price did for Jonny when he won the Masters. And I was reading it, and it read something along the lines of proud of you, son. And I thought, I got to check now. How old is Gezi and how old is Jonny? And Jonny, I think, is 10 or 11 years older. But we could see that at the World Cup as well. That was a special relationship between them two there.
Definitely. Playing a team game, it's all about gelling. It's all about hitting the right scores at the right time. And to be honest with you, the pair of those was unbeatable. Literally, well, obviously they proved it, they won it, but they were unbeatable. And every time they went up onto the hockey, when Wales were playing, whoever they were playing, you just knew that Wales were going to win. And that's all part and parcel of working together. The beauty with darts is age doesn't really matter in that sort of sense. You can be either older, younger, same age. It doesn't matter. It's putting the goods together, and that's exactly what Gowan and Jonny done in the World Cup, and obviously Jonny done it in the Masters. So he's continued that, kept it going. So obviously Gezi did, winning the Worlds. So darts in Wales are very, very strong. And it's good to see as well. It's nice. It's nice when it's all different people winning different titles. I like that. I like that. Shows how strong it is in depth and how good you've actually got to be to win the title.
Yeah, I mean, we remember that they smashed Germany as well, but we don't care to remember that. We don't want to remember that at all. And this is why now it's time for our first two viewer questions. I'm just going to have a look here at who has got their hands up. Now, let's see. I think because we've never done that, we've always started off with a fella, I think. So now we're going to go for Carlotta. Carlotta is going to join us. Let's give her a second until Zoom got her into the chat here. And then we're going to hear what Carlotta has got to ask, either Jonny or Russ or both. Hi there, Carlotta. Where are you joining us from tonight?
Hello, this is Frank. I'm the father of Carlotta.
Well, this is how they trick me. This is how it goes. So Frank, what's the question to Jonny or Russ?
Yeah, I think it's for both. From my perspective, so maybe a personal feeling, but from my perspective, after the break we had last year, after the restart, I think darts has come to a better, even better level. So the quality has increased. Would you agree to this? And do you think that has something to do with the lack of the crowd? So it's easier to concentrate, to keep more focused during the game? So what do you think?
Well, personally, I quite like the crowd. I like the banter, I like the cheering, do you know what I mean? So I don't know if you concentrate more, because sometimes you need the help of the crowd to cheer you on. And to be honest, I just find it strange there's no crowd. So like you say, the standard has come up brilliant. I don't know what that reason is, because I would say that we've been having a lack of darts, not enough darts. So I don't know, maybe we just needed a break to come back with a bit more fire in our bellies.
I mean, okay. Russ, maybe also, what was it like for you without the fans? I mean, bellowing out the 180 with no one responding, that must have been a bit odd.
That was probably the only difference, really, because normally with the crowd, the first two darts go in the treble 20 and you hear the crowd all build up and get ready for the 180. That was missing, but in the background, you had a crowd noise. So from that perspective, as a referee, standing there, you're looking at a dartboard, so you're not even looking at a crowd or interacting with a crowd. So at the end of the day, for us, it didn't really make a great deal of difference. You could concentrate, obviously, a little bit more on the scoring and things like that. The 180s did make a difference, subtle difference, screaming them out and to nobody. But when you say screaming out to nobody, I mean the viewing figures have gone absolutely through the roof for all the tournaments that we're doing now, and the PDC have put on a lot of time. Jonny said there hasn't been a lot of darts, but they had the summer series of darts, so they've tried to keep it going, tried to keep the darts going in here, there, and everywhere. In that way, I think a lot of people have concentrated at home and practice harder at home. And of course, once we come out to the darts, everyone's still ready to go, ready raring to go. You know, I mean, again, it's slightly different for John because he works as well. But the main guys that have stayed at home because of the situation, the COVID and everything, I think they've got in there to put the extra hours in. So consequently, you're going to get a better tournament in depth. The players in depth are going to be that much better. And I think that's what's actually happened since the lockdown.
Yeah.
So, 2 good answers for Frank or Carlotta. Frank Carlotta, that sounds like a character from a mafia movie, doesn't it? Frank Carlotta.
Or Italian footballer.
Yes. left wing. Frank, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thanks for asking the question. And enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Good question, actually.
What else do we have here?
Is it? You're back with us, Phil.
Ah, there we go. Now, now I'd say we can do another one. We can do another one, and now it's still only fellas. It's still only fellas. We're gonna go for Luca. Luca, let's get Luca to us. Luca Schmidt. That sounds as German as it goes, doesn't it? Schmidt.
Definitely.
Name.
Definitely.
So now let's wait until we can hear Luca, and then Luca can ask a question to our 2 stars of the evening. Hi there, Luca. Was I correct? Are you joining us from Germany?
Yes. I have a question for Jonny Clayton. It's when did you realize that the winner of the Masters will play Premier League this year?
Hi, Luca. To be honest, we were up in the practice room and we were all speaking about it. We were all thinking, well, if the winner of this, you know, is he the one that's going to get the last Premier League spot? But we weren't told anything, nothing at all, until after the final was played. So we didn't know for a fact that the winner would get the Premier League spot, but we were kind of speaking it in our practice room with the players, you know?
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck for the Premier League and have a nice evening.
Cheers, Luca. Thank you, Paul.
Luca, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You enjoy the rest of the show as well. And thanks for asking a question to our stars. And there's one thing that Russ mentioned that I want to ask about as well. I mean, Russ said it, Jonny. You're still working, and you said after you won the Masters that you would have to make some difficult decisions, a lot of thinking to do. Have you done that thinking already, and is that decision made?
Well, the decision's not made 100%, but at this particular moment, I am going to keep on working. It's like there's nothing broken, so I'm not going to try and mend anything. So at this moment, I'm going to keep working.
Going to keep working. I read it somewhere on Twitter. Premier Plasterer, it said, and I think it's got a ring to it. Russ, from your experience, I mean, you've been in the game for so long as well as a referee. Do you think that's a sensible thing to do? What Jonny does there?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's you're always looking to put your dinner on the table, you know. And if John's in a secure job and all the rest of it, I mean, he's proved he can win and work. He can play darts and work. Johnny's proved that, and that's exactly what he's doing, you know. Comments, you know, pack up work, become a full-time professional, go looking for the work, go looking for getting dinner on the table. He's already doing that. He's getting the dinner on the table straight away. You know, by his work, the darts then becomes a bonus, and it becomes a great bonus as well. You know what I mean? So all the time you're working, Jonny, you've got all you've got your holidays, your bills, your house all sorted. All your extras come from your darts, and you know, you can mix the two, as John's proved it.
Yeah, it's true enough, Russ. True enough.
So, Jonny, as I mentioned before, Wales is going to be a topic tonight because a month ago, I had your World Cup passport and a Gerwin prize on the show, and we had a little Welsh quiz. And we had a question there about the longest place name in Europe, which is actually located in Wales. This place.
It is, yeah.
You probably know it. And we're gonna look at this clip when we did that, and give me a second there.
Problems.
Now we're gonna share this, and now we should be able to see. Listen, I'm just gonna play the clip for you, and you're gonna see how your pairs partner Gowan Price reacted to it, and I'm gonna ask you a question afterwards.
So let's have a quick look here at. Obviously, we have to take a look at that word. Now, here we go. Isn't it beautiful? And it actually translates to St. Mary's Church in a hollow of white hazel near the rapid whirlpool of the Church of St. Tisilio with a red cave. If that isn't catchy, I don't know what is.
That's brilliant.
How can you say that? And I'm even Welsh.
Well, it's obvious. I was going to ask if you can pronounce that.
No, I'm not even trying that.
So now, Jonny, we actually know that from your social media posts as well. You speak Welsh. Can you pronounce that? Can you pronounce that place name? Do you know it?
Yeah, I can pronounce it, but you have to put it back on for me to read.
Give me a second. Yes, I was a bit too quick there. Oh dear me. Give me a sec now.
There's so many tongue twisters in that. I got to read.
There we go.
So you ready?
I'm so ready. I can't wait.
It's called Llanfair, Pwll Gwyngyll, Gogerich, Gwynrobol, Llandeseilio, Gogogoch.
Beautiful.
And that is
Beautiful.
Was that cool? That was pretty good.
Oh, it's brilliant, mate. That is brilliant.
Yeah, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
That was pretty impressive. That the only thing Gezi, Paul, and me could remember was go go goch at the end. That was it. That's the part I know. That's the part.
I tell you one thing, Philip. You sound more Welsh than Gezi.
It's actually funny that you should mention that, because a couple of people in PDC, when they first met me, thought I was Welsh, and I thought, how though?
Yeah. And you're definitely more Welsh than Mark Webster. I can tell you that now.
Everybody's more Welsh than Mark Webster.
Yeah, quite right, sir. Yeah, spot on, Russ.
Let's see.
So Russ, obviously, as a darts referee, you sometimes come across a name that is a bit tricky to announce, and I don't know. Do you have one in mind right now that comes to mind? Because I have got one. Because whenever we speak about difficult names in PDC Europe, there's one name that's always brought up.
Funny enough, that I'm trying to think the lad's name now. Years ago in Germany, there was a Dutch lad, and I can't think of his name there offhand, but I just couldn't get his surname right, it was horrible. I called him everything. Josephus Schenk, his name was. Played in the World Championships back years ago, and I called him Josephus Skink, Skunk, Skunk, Skink. I called him everything. Everything. I mean, to be honest with you, anything more than 7 letters, and I'm generally buggered anyway. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do find it difficult sometimes with. I mean, I've got a lot of messages about the Portuguese guy Jesus, and I called him Jesus. Well, that's how it looks. His name is Jesus to me, and. So I got corrected on that. So go on, what's the one, Phil? What's the one I have trouble saying?
Before I'm going to show it, I remember that. I think it was in Reset, and I was talking to Hugh Ware backstage when you were saying Jesus, and he was like, "Oh my God, Russ is being annoyed today. He keeps on saying Jesus. You require 68." So no, but I had a different name in mind, and we're gonna go a little bit more Austrian here, a little bit more Austrian.
Okay.
Now let's have a look. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah. Wilhelm Swingelslogan. Swingelslogan, is it?
It's whenever.
That's right.
Whenever we talk about this,
he didn't win a leg.
Did he not? I thought he did win one.
He did win a leg. Yeah,
yes.
God knows what I called him.
Yeah.
God only knows what I called him. Yeah, Wilhelm Swingelslogan.
Because Torsten, who is the head of production with the PDC Europe, he told me that story, and he said it was amazing. He looked at the name before the match started, and he said, and you said, Ross, this guy must not win a leg, otherwise, and it was 5-0, and then he won a leg.
Won the lot. That's right. Won one leg, didn't they? Everyone was waiting for me to say it.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant.
Oh, brilliant. Can you say that, Jonny? That looks Welsh, doesn't it?
I can't even read that, Russ.
I know Wilhelm. Wilhelm.
That's right.
Swingenslogan.
Yeah, I think it's Schwingenschlögel. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly what I just said. That's exactly what I just said.
It's like Dirk van Duvenbode from Holland.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can remember in Gibraltar calling him Dirk van Diving Board. You know, I mean, it's
diving board.
Brilliant.
Dear me,
yeah, but it is funny with names because, as I say, it's generally if ever you do an exhibition or you do a show, certainly if you've been in Germany or Holland or anywhere, in a different country, I always at the start of the show always tell them and say, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologise if I pronounce your name wrong or funny. I said, because I generally pronounce it how I see it. So I'll get away with it that way, really.
Yeah. It's the same with Schwingenschlögel. You pronounce it as it, you know, as you write it. It's just as it
it's Schwingenschlögel, yeah.
So now, obviously, you see where I'm located. I'm just in front of board 12 here in Niedernhausen at European Q School. So as I'm here, we obviously have to talk about Q School. I don't know, Russ. I know that you follow the darts, you know, very vigorously. Have you been following the Q School as well?
I've got to be honest. I did yesterday. I was on it yesterday, but I had various bits and pieces I had to do this afternoon. So I haven't actually caught up on today's play. To be honest with you, as I asked you earlier on about how did Raymond get on, because I hadn't seen. Or I haven't seen from our side either. So on that one, I've got to apologise. But, you know, as I say, yeah, normally I've got it on or listen to it or go into Dart Connect and check it out. But I haven't today, unfortunately.
Well, as you already mentioned, Raymond van Barneveld, I think obviously that was or is the big story. You know, the 5-time world champion trying to have a go at the Pro Tour again, trying to win back his tour card. And I've been thinking, you know, we've got a tradition here on this show that we're doing a couple of polls with our viewers. And I want to ask our viewers here, do you think that Raymond van Barneveld will win back his tour card? So let's start this poll now, and then we can talk a little bit more about Q School without two stars here, and give our viewers a bit of time to actually tell us what they're thinking. I mean, Jonny, you won your tour card in 2015, and so you know as good as anybody else that Q School can absolutely be a life-changing event.
Oh yeah, definitely, because do you know what I mean? It does change your life. You know, I thought, if I'm honest, that as soon as I got my card, that the money would be just jumping in straight away. But it doesn't happen that way. There's a lot of work and hard work. You know, that's where it begins. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't jump into your pocket. The money, you know, because that's all we're chasing is money and obviously rankings and a bit of stardom. But, you know, you've got to work hard, really hard. You know, Q School is really hard. I got my card on the last day. So, you know, all the pressure of trying to get your card to start off, you know, obviously you relax a bit when you've got it, and then you have to start again. You have to start from the beginning on zero to try and catch up with the world's best dart players, you know, and it's not an easy ride, you know, it's a very hard task.
Is there actually a danger that when you win the tour card, you feel like you have, I mean, obviously you have accomplished something really big, but as you said, then that's where work starts. And it might happen to you that you get the feeling, oh, I'm incredible now. I'm on the Pro Tour, and you sort of feel a bit complacent there.
Yeah, maybe, because do you know what I mean? When you watch, you know, the big guns, the elite going on the Premier Leagues and everything, you think, oh yeah, I wish I could be one of them. And you know, it just doesn't happen overnight. It might take 2 years. You know, the story with Rob Cross, which he done absolutely brilliant in his first year. You know, I don't think there's many people that's done that. You know, I think Rob is he the only one that's done that? But, you know, like for myself, I'm still working hard to get into the top 16, you know? So it doesn't just fall into your lap straight away. There's a lot of hard work to do.
Now let's have a look at what our viewers say about Raymond van Barneveld winning back his tour card. We're going to end the poll here, and we're seeing that apparently the Barney army is here in big numbers. 2/3 of our viewers saying that Barney is going to win back that tour card, and so we would see Barney back on the Pro Tour for the next 2 years. I mean, Russ, you've been around the whole time, you know, during Barney's PDC career. Did it surprise you that he decided to come back?
To come back, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I thought he'd, you know, done it, finished, and that was it. I can understand why he has, in all honesty, because I done Barney's final shindig exhibition show over in Holland back last February, and of course then the COVID hit, and there's no work, absolutely no work for anybody in that sense. I never worked from March to July myself, so like I said earlier on, you still got to put a dinner on the table, you still got to earn some money. Yes, you can get bits and pieces here, there, and everywhere, but there was absolutely nothing. So from, you know, Barney actually finishing, coming up to even now, he has had no income. He's had nothing coming in. And bills still need to be paid. They still need to be done. So it hasn't surprised me. I'm not saying he's not good enough to come back. I'm not saying he isn't good enough to come back, but I think it's harder to get your tour card than it is to hold on to it. I think I sort of reiterating a little bit of what Jonny was saying there. You know, once you've got your tour card, head down where you go. Come on, now I've got it. Yeah, I can keep it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Raymond has got to get that tour card. He's had 2 days now where he hasn't got through, and the people that are trying to get their tour card, they're hungry. They are hungry. They want to do what Raymond's done. Bearing in mind, Raymond's been there, seen it, done it, got the Christmas, you know, Kids Week Quick Gate, he's got everything. But for him to get back, I think personally, it's going to be really, really, really tough for him. You know, I'm not saying I don't hope he does or I hope he doesn't. Either either, you know, I hope the best man wins on the day. But Raymond's going to find it mega, mega tough. Mega tough.
I mean, obviously, Jonny, we know darts is a game that can get the best out of you, but it can also get the worst out of you really when it's not going well. Do you think that when Barney retired initially, that this kind of happened to him? You know, I mean, we saw him and he seemed really down when he retired. Do you think that this year off that he had that it's done him the world of good and he can come back now?
Well, to be honest, you know, the player that Barney is, his capabilities are absolutely brilliant. You know, he hasn't been one of the best dart players in the world for no reason. You know, he can seriously play darts. You know, yes, he was in a, you know, maybe in a dark place with confidence or whatever when he was, you know, coming to the end. He decided that he wanted to finish darts. You know, that was Raymond's choice. So in my personal view is like, you know, he's obviously good enough to get his card back, but he has got to prove it. Do you know what I mean? It's a chance in Q School. In Q School, like we say, it's the world of the unknown because you don't know who's good. You know, there's new faces popping up everywhere. You know, it's a tough 4 days, like, you know, and you know, it'd be nice to see Raymond back on tour because he's a class act, you know, but it's not going to be an easy task.
I mean, you mentioned that.
You also want to. Sorry, Phil. You also want to see the Raymond of years ago. You know, you don't want to see the Raymond of the last year or so. You know, where he's, like you say, he's down. He's in a dark place. He's not working. It's not working for him. You know, that's not how you want to see Raymond van Barneveld. You know, you want to see him back with a bang, with a plumb, like he was, you know, 2 or 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. You know, it's. You know, sometimes I worry for someone like that trying to get back into being what they were, because you know, sometimes that doesn't always work, and that's what I fear for someone like Raymond. You know, it's I'm not saying I don't want to see him when it'll get through, but it's going to play on his head again. That's for sure. You know, if it did at the end of his last time, it's going to play on his head again for sure.
I mean, he certainly showed flashes of the quality that he can produce. Also here in Q School, I mean, he smashed a young Dutch lad. He smashed him with a ton-plus average. Today he beat Nico Kurtz, I think, by 6-4, 6-3. Hit a 170, average up in the high 90s. So he can still produce that. And when you watch him, obviously, Russ, you know as good as anybody else because you've been up close watching him. That action is still there. That smooth action, and it's still working. But certainly
Beautiful.
certainly a long way to go. But Russ, is there a
Absolutely.
like for you, as I said, you've been there throughout Barney's PDC career. Is there one special moment with Barney that you remember?
Oh yeah, it's got to be. It's got. Oh, my battery's gone low. It's got to be Phil Taylor and Barney final, 2007, I think it was.
Yeah.
The very last one at the Circus Tavern, and you know, Barney was behind. I went on halfway through the game, and then Barney kicked in, and oh wow, you know, I mean, it was down to the very last leg, the sudden death leg. And it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Phil Taylor hit 180. I thought, here we go, that's it. Barney followed it. And then bang, bang, he done Phil in that final leg. Probably one of the greatest finals ever. You know, it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We certainly remember that. There's a phone going off there? No.
Sorry, mate.
No worries. No worries. That was because...
I weren't on the stage, honest.
Because that was no phone. That was our signal for the next viewer question. We always do this.
Oh, brilliant. Good.
If you're not realized it always happens. It always happens. So let's see who has got their hands up. We've got someone, Shanksy. That doesn't sound too German. So
No.
as well get an English speaking person in here. That would be great. Now let's have a look until we can.
Hello, how you, mate?
Here we go. Hi there, Shanksy. Where are you joining us from?
Scotland.
Scotland. There we go.
Only Scotland.
Scotland.
So just a quick one for Johnny. Me and my pal watched you at the Masters the other night. Thought you were unreal. Quick one. Where'd the nickname come from, the ferret?
Hi, Shanksy. You right, son? Thanks for that. No, it's because I used to play rugby. I used to play scrum half in my younger days, and somebody just said it out, you know, out of the blue, and just said, "Oh, look, he's like a little ferret," and it just stuck. So it's come from my rugby days.
Thanks for that, mate. Best of luck with the Premier League, and we'll be watching you from Scotland.
Hey, cheers, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot for joining us from Scotland. And now can I move him back? No, I can't. Can I? Oh dear. Give me a second.
Technology, yeah?
Yeah, it really is. It doesn't say what it usually says here. How can I get him? No. Yeah, here we go. Now I can do it. Now I can do it.
I'll do it now.
Oh dear, the technology. So that was rather quick. So let's have another one. And I have hope that now we're actually going to have a woman on the show asking a question. Anja Oppermann. That sounds German as well. So let's give it a listen. And I'm very, very curious about what Anja has got to ask our two stars of the show here. Just has to unmute herself.
Unmute herself, yeah.
Yeah, and then we can should be able to hear her. Anja.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, here we go.
Hi. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to ask a question. It goes to Russ. I would like to ask you, do you have to practice something to do your job as a referee?
No, not really, Anja. It's no, not really. I tried to have a look at games beforehand, so you get into a rhythm, so you get to know some odd scores, strange scores, if you can, you know, try and get those correct. But actual practice, no, I don't practice with my voice either. So I just, you know, that's just how it comes out. So no, not really. It's not as though I have to stand there like the dart players hours on end. But I do like to watch a lot of darts prior to a tournament so that I can get my head around the various numbers again.
You're doing a really great job. I like to hear you and see you every time.
That's lovely. Thank you, Anja. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for that.
Anja, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the question and enjoy the rest of the show. Ross, I didn't know you had family in the chat as well.
Hey, mate, I ain't silly. You wait until someone calls me later on. That'd be different.
So now, this was actually quite fitting that this was a question to Russ, because I have another question to our viewers here as well. As we all know, you know, the referee's position is a very important one, and we want to know from the 5 big names, the 5 big PDC referees that we see on telly all the time, who actually is your favorite referee with the PDC? And we're going to start the poll here, and then we're going to have a little chat with Russ about the job as a referee. I remember when we saw each other at the Worlds, you were presented by our colleagues from of RTL7 with a couple of presents, because it was your 25th year, or this is your 25th year as a professional darts referee, and you were quite flabbergasted actually about it.
I was very, very surprised. It's when I say it's another competition, it's another year, it's the best tournament anyway, the World Championships. But I didn't realise that it was the 25th, so which was very nice from Ian and Paul. They got me a nice bottle of champagne and some chocolates, which was lovely. But favourite referees, it's all the lads there are superb. I mean, George and Kurt, they just don't make a mistake. They're absolutely spot on with everything. They really are bang on there. Hugh's new in. Hugh Ware, he's new in. Making the mark of doing these bits and pieces. Paul Hinks, Paul's been going a long time as well. Again, very, very good referee. But I would say, the guys that really, really do not screw up at all is George and Hugh. I mean, hands up, I do.
Well,
as people on Twitter and Facebook tell me, Johnny, I'll tell God help me.
Well, listen, Ross. When we did the Super League last year, obviously under the circumstances with Corona and everything, I had to be the referee there, and I can tell you, I've got a whole new level of respect for darting referees now. It's incredibly difficult, and I messed up so many times. And
well, the thing, what people don't realise, you stood up there. You've got, sometimes you can have 20,000 or 11, 12,000 people in the crowd. Yeah, and you've got to get it exactly right there and then. Yeah, a lot of the numbers, most of the numbers are self-explanatory. 60, 20, 20 is 100. You ain't got to add it up. It's when the player goes the wrong way or hits a wrong treble. It's instead of going to treble 14, instead of hitting treble 14, going for it, they hit treble 11. And then, jeepers, it just can completely throw it. But, and then you've got to do it instantly. So you've got millions watching around the world. You've got all the people on the what's name, and you get some people, really, really have a dig at me big time. It's, but I'm human, and, hands up if I've spoiled it for you. But at the end of the day, the boys up there, they're great with you anyway.
The problem
Russ, it's easy when I throw darts, because I never make mistakes. I always go the right way.
Yeah, of course you do, Johnny. When you're looking at me and turn around and you see that picture, me looking at you?
Yeah, a few times, pal.
Yeah.
I remember now. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
Bless him.
Ross, mistakes aside, and stick on Twitter aside, let's have a look now at the results here. What our viewers say. Now look at that, 68% of our viewers. Is there a Russ Bray bias because Russ Bray is on the show? No, absolutely not.
I think they're being kind. I think they're being kind.
And you're being followed by Kirk Bevins with 18%. So that is a very clear result that we've got there.
Brilliant. It's lovely.
So, Johnny, is there actually a thing for players as well? Do you have a favorite caller? Do you have someone where you think, okay, when I'm on stage with him, it kind of feels better with another one?
No, like Russ has said, each and every one of the callers do a fantastic job. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I personally would not like to stand and do their job because there's so much pressure. Like Russ says, us as players, we've all got different ways of playing. And some people will go totally different ways to other. And then maybe like when Russ says, he might have one way in his head. And then when you got somebody like me who's going totally different ways. And, it's not an easy job. So, I respect every referee, that they are brilliant, to be fair, brilliant.
Now, I don't know if a couple of you must have seen that we've had a competition going on social media. Russ challenged our followers on social media to a little challenge to send in their 180 calls. So tonight we want to find maybe the new Russ Bray, and
whoa.
So it was amazing. We got so many videos got sent in, and I tried to pick out the best 5, and now we're going to have a look at the best 5, what I think. Johnny and Russ, you're going to give us your opinion on things, and then we're going to have another poll for our viewers, what they say, and then I'm sure the winner. We already said that gets a signed Russ Bray shirt. I think Russ gets last say at that because Russ is he's the professional. He's the professional referee. He's got to decide that. So guys, now let's have a look here, because the first one we found is now. Give me a sec. Here we go. And we need, no, that was Russ. This is Claudio from Italy in the power shirt. And we're going to have a listen to his 180 call.
Hi there, this is Claudio from Italy, and this is my entry for the 180 competition. 180!
I love that. I mean, that's typical Italian, isn't it? Hold on to the note, Hey, mamma mia. It's just
Hey, Russ, you'd be out of breath by the time that was over.
I'll tell you what, I'll be flat on me back. Fainted.
I'm telling you, Ricky Evans, he could finish a leg in that time.
He could have done. That was brilliant. That was superb. Claudia, that's superb. Yeah, I like that.
Brilliant.
I like that.
So let's have a
Bevan style. Kirk Bevan style. That was.
Now that you mentioned Kirk, we've actually got a Kirk here. Kirk is not his first name; it's his second name. It's Lewis Kirk from Perth in Australia, and I don't know. It reminded me of someone, but I couldn't quite tell. Let's have a look at him.
180.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I like that. That's good.
I gotta say, the eyes scare me a bit, but apart from that, it was.
I ain't so sure. I don't know him, to be honest with you. That's brilliant.
That's class, absolutely class.
I like that.
Now we've got someone here. We're going smaller now. We've got little Lucas, and after watching him, I'm not worried about the next referees of the PDC. There are loads to come. Let's look at little Lucas here.
And again. 190!
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Awesome. He's my champ so far. I'll tell you, from my perspective. I know
it's going to be a hard follow, that one.
And very
and look at the dart setup as well.
I know.
It's in the right height. It's got the lights around.
Yeah.
It's got the PDC bots
See
around.
logo. I'm gonna see that.
Yeah.
He's done everything right there. Gary Anderson's shirt on, I think, is it?
Yeah.
I think that's an Ando shirt.
Good spot.
Yeah.
Now,
brilliant.
He's got the Gary Anderson shirt on. Our next contestant, he's got something else on. Here we've got Mark Santa Cryer. Now, guys, here we go.
Wow. I'll tell you what, if little Lucas was sat on his lap, he'd frighten the life out of him.
He wouldn't want to see Christmas again.
Oh, God help us. He would never believe in him, would he? He wouldn't believe in him. I love the Peter Wright haircut or the wig. He's done it right, hasn't he?
I think so, yeah. And then there's a final one. There's a little twist to this one. His name is Jean-Marc Sabourin, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't speak French, but it sounds very French.
Does it?
Let's have a look at him. He's kind of turned the concept of the 180 call a bit on its head there, but let's have a listen there.
180.
That's a new way to do things, isn't it?
That's a different way.
That's a different one.
It's very different. I don't think it will take off, but good God in heaven. I think if I'd done that, I'll get sacked actually. 180. No, I ain't got it to it, is it? No.
Now let's have a look at things here. Now here you've got all the 5 contestants that we've got, and now we're gonna ask our viewers who they think was the best. And now let's have a look. Let's go for the third poll. There we go. So we got number 1 is Claudio from Italy. We've got Lewis Kirk, Little Lucas on 3, Mark Santa Cryer or Jean-Marc Sabourin. Let us know what you guys think. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. So now, Russ. Let's start with Jonny. Let's start with Jonny. Jonny, who was your favorite?
Well, to be honest, I thought Lewis did a brilliant job until Lucas came on, because Lucas is absolutely brilliant. Fair play to him. Sorry, Lewis, but number 3 it is for me.
All right. So now then, Russ, what do you say? What is? Or before you give your verdict, let's have a look at what our viewers said. Now let's stop this here, and then we can have a look. There we go. And our viewers say it's Little Lucas with 37%, Claudio from Italy with 28%, and Russ Bray Kirk with 22%. So now, Russ, as I said, you get the final call. You know, it was your challenge, so you're the one to decide who wins the Russ Bray shirt.
Well, in my own head there, looking at that lot, the very first one, was that Claudio, was it?
The very first one was Claudio from Italy.
First one was Claudio, and that was till Little Lucas came on, and it had to be, I mean, he's a little fella, and he can have the Russ Bray shirt, I think. He's the champion. Little Lucas. Well done, Sunshine.
Little Lucas has done it. So congratulations, Little Lucas.
Brilliant.
Actually, I can tell you now that his parents, they did everything. They contacted us on social media. We got a mail. We got everything. So they made sure that
sure he was there.
That Little Lucas would be on the show, and rightfully so. I think we've got a deserved winner. But Russ, I've got an idea. I think Claudio from Italy, he seemed like such a nice chap. Maybe as a sort of second place prize, we can award him with a personal greeting message from Russ Bray. Would that be something?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course we can. Yeah, definitely. You've got his details.
Yeah, we're going to get in touch with him. We're going to get in touch with him and inform them that they've won, and then we'll make sure that they get their prizes. Surely.
Drop that through, and we'll sort that for him. No problem.
Sure thing. I mean, the both of you, Jonny and Russ, you're both involved, obviously, in our personal greeting message that the fans can buy. How important is that for you? I think it's a nice touch as well, to be kind of have the feeling to be in touch with the fans in this time where we can't see them. Jonny, what do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. You know, the fans are a massive part of darts. Without the fans, you wouldn't have the competitions, and it's. I have to be honest. I miss them big time. Because like I say, my point of view is, even though that we're playing and trying to keep the fans happy, it's the fans that actually keep the players wanting to play. So I miss them big time.
And
very much so.
And Russ, for you, I think we can be open about it. That actually Russ Bray, he is actually the guy that gets booked the most. Russ Bray he's delivering the most personal video messages. And the way I know you, that must mean a lot to you that there's such a big request for your messages.
Absolutely, big time, of course. It's Johnny's hit the nail on the head. The people are very, very important. Your audience, the crowd, should never be nasty to them. Always have time for someone. Always talk to someone. Don't shun anybody. If someone wants a photo, come on in, mate. Let's have a photograph. You do all the photographs, do all that, and that's very important. And it's nice to be nice, and it's nice to be liked. And I try and do both. In that sense, like people, nice people, you just try and be polite, but very, very important. And very proud, of course.
And obviously, we are not going to shun anybody on the Not So Late Night Art Show. And this is why we are having another couple of viewer questions. And I have kind of the idea who might be the next guy who ask a question here, because his name is Mark Cryer. And I think it could be Santa. So if he has come dressed up now let's give it a look. I'm actually curious now if that is Mark. So now Mark has joined us here, and we should be able to hear him in a couple of seconds when he's unmuted himself.
He's now looking for where I press unmute. There he is.
Here we go. Santa, can you hear us? Is it you, Santa, actually?
Brilliant.
Oh dear, Mark.
Superb, Mark. Superb. Well done, mate.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're good. Always good.
I'll tell you what, I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to the three of you rabbiting on. I do have a question for Jonny.
Yeah, Mark.
All right, Boyle.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, pal. You okay?
I am. Have you drove there through the snow or anything like that? That's not the question, by the way.
Sounded like one.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the question, Jonny.
Okay.
Right. I like a game of darts myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, like as a teenager, you get taken to the pub.
Yeah.
You get a few drinks down your neck and you start throwing a few darts. At what point in your life, how old was you, when you realised that you had maybe a natural talent for darts and you decided to grasp that and then think like, yeah, I can earn a bob or two here. I'll start practicing as well. At what point did you do that?
But to be honest, Mark, rugby was my first love. I loved my rugby. I finished rugby. I broke my knee for the third time, I think it was. So it was time to call it quits. But I've always played darts. My dad used to play darts.
Yeah.
A lot of my family, my grandmother played a lot of darts. So there's always been a dartboard like in the house.
Yeah.
So I've played darts as you know as far back as I remember. But it was basically after I broke my knee for the third time, it was like it's time to give that up and concentrate on something else. And you know, my biggest hobby was darts. Yeah. So I started playing county. I started, you know, I got into the Welsh side with the BDO. Yeah. And you know, I thought to myself, you know, I'm climbing the ladder pretty quick. So Jamie Lewis turned around and said, listen, do you fancy trying Q School with myself? And I thought to myself, well, I'd give it a go. Yeah. And I think this is my 6th year. So on a serious note, I think I was about 40 when I thought, right, I'm going to have to give it one massive shot before it's too late. Yeah. And, you know, I think it was about, you know, a serious start from when I was about 36, but to give it the big shot, I was about 40.
What a cracking answer. Cheers for that, Jonny. One little question for you, Russ.
Go on, Mark.
All right. All that yelling. All right. That yelling.
Yeah.
Do you ever suffer with laryngitis, lad?
Do you know what? I really don't. I do not at all. I never get a sore throat. I don't lose my voice. Right. No, it's a simple answer. Honestly, I really don't.
As you can obviously tell, I do a bit of Santorin from time to time. And
no, you do a bit of frightening of the kids is what you do.
Anyway, we will not mention that. Okay. Thanks for chat, lads. Thanks for chat.
Pleasure. Cheers, Mark. Have a good one.
Yeah, be good. Cheers.
Mark, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you very much as well for the video that you sent in. You were a great laugh. Thanks a lot. And now I think we have time for another one. We have one. We have a Michael here. We're going to get Michael into the chat with us. Is it Michael? Is it Michael? You never really know.
Right.
Now here we go.
Hello.
Hi there, Michael. Michael, where are you coming from? Where are you watching us from?
Vienna.
Pardon?
Near Vienna.
Oh, near Vienna, Austria.
Yes.
What's your question, Michael?
I have a question to Russ Bray. Which is or was your favorite double?
Well, when I played darts, it was double 16. But if it was in the bar, it was a large brandy. So. Double 16 when I played darts. That was my favourite double. So that was the one I went for most, or the one that I used to leave when I played. And I only got to county level, so you know, nothing too spectacular.
Nice, thank you.
What's yours, Michael? What's your favourite double?
I like double 14 or
Mensa. Yeah.
double 17.
Oh wow, they really are odd numbers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not many players, or you won't see
Yeah,
many
it's
professionals go for it. But
special,
Mensa goes
but
double 14.
I like it to play because I often score too low on the fields, and now so I often hit it.
Ah, well, if that's your double, that's the one to go for. Johnny will tell you that.
Yeah, definitely. It works for me now and again.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael, thank you very much for the question. Keep hitting these double 14s. That seems to be an Austrian thing, double 14, huh?
Yeah, I think Mensa's brought that in a bit.
The School of Mensa, the School of Mensa.
Well, it's in the middle of the left-hand side. It's the middle of the board. So it's, if you've ever got anybody that didn't play darts as such, and you turn around and said to them, right, you know, you've got to go for a double, you tell them to go for double 14, double 11. That used to be the old thing years ago, because the two numbers are in line and they're throwing at it, so it just made it easier.
So now, when we check our watches, it tells us that the 1 hour of the Not So Late Night Art Show is already up. Time flew by
mate.
with our two
Isn't it
guests,
just?
Russ Bray and Jonny Clayton. Jonny, Russ, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure with the two of you.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. Thanks for the invite, buddy.
Absolutely no problem. Anytime, anytime. And obviously, thank you very much to each and every one of you that's been watching us tonight, that's been participating, that's been sending in their 180 calls. It's been a great laugh. We've had loads of fun. And we're going to make sure that little Lucas gets his Russ Bray shirt, and that Claudio from Italy, he gets the personal video message from Russ. So
Brilliant.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night. Keep your eyes on the PDC Europe social media pages. Because we're going to be back with the next episode of the Not So Late Night Art Show in 2 weeks' time. Thanks once again to Russ and Jonny, and a good night to everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. Cheers, Johnny.
Cheers, Russ.
Cheers, buddy. Cheers, pal. Catch you soon. See you soon, Biggin.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Cheers,
Bye,
fellas.
guys. Bye.